Hi everyone, my name is Katie Harlan and I want to talk to you today about how to onboard your new reps so that they can hit the ground running and be successful from the get-go. I think that if you apply these tips to bringing new reps onto your team, you can feel really good about doing all you can to give them the tools to be successful. I think it's really important though to remember that you can't make someone be successful. You can't make someone be good at this. You can give them the resources that they need. You can show them the way. You can lead by example, which I think is the most important, but that's really all you can do within your power. So the key to growing a big team isn't really in successful onboarding, in my opinion. It's about how many people you bring to your team, because the people who want it are going to do it regardless. You know, when I started, no one led the way. I mean, there were examples I could follow, but I really did it myself. I didn't, my upline and I worked together. We didn't really have a strong upline who, you know, did everything and gave us all the tools. We just did it ourselves. And we wanted it, and so we made it happen. And I think that as long as you give them these tools and are available for them, really the rest is on them. And I believe that really, really strongly. I've been in this industry for I don't know, so what year is it? For 6 years now. And that is really what I've come to experience, that giving people more, giving them huge amounts of resources right at the beginning and tons of training and, you know, holding their hand through everything, it doesn't really make for a more successful rep. It is more work for you, and the people who are going to be successful are likely going to be successful without the hand holding as well. So that's from experience. Let me go over now the steps that I use when I onboard my reps. The very first thing once someone signs up is I introduce them in our team page. Now, the way Facebook works is if you add someone to a group, they have to accept the invite before you can tag them. So I typically will add them to the group, but I won't introduce them for a few hours just so that they can accept the invite and see that I've added them. I add a picture of them, a recent picture if possible, and I usually just say a few things. Some people like to introduce them with a blurb that they have written themselves. They just ask for it. Hey, I'm going to introduce you to the team page. What do you want me to, can you write up a little introduction? That's fine. I usually just do a short little intro. And then it gives them a chance to kind of get a feeling for the team. They can look through the files if they are a go-getter and that really appeals to them. They can get started, honestly, just from being in the team page. Like if somebody wanted to hit the ground running and just was ready, everything they need is already right there. Then I just reach out to them and I welcome them personally. Congratulations, I'm so glad you're on the team. And then I say, we need to schedule a call in the next few days. Let me know when you're available. And so that's putting it really in their court again. Sometimes they want to wait for the call until after they get the kit. Sometimes they want to do the call right away. It's really on them. If they say okay and don't really follow up with a time that they want to do the call, that to me that is an indicator that they're not really ready, and that's okay. I figure that they'll reach out when they are. Another way that I introduce them, and I've started doing this recently, and I like doing this, is I introduce them in my stories. So not everyone is on Instagram right away, but I like to just show people that we're constantly growing our team. And that's a great way. So in my stories, I'll just put that same picture and I'll say, welcome to the team, Sarah. And if I can tag them, I will. And if they're not on Insta, that's okay. Okay, so after on the call, a lot of people say, what do you do on the call? The call is really for me to do a few things. Number one, it's to get to know them, because a lot of times I don't know these people very well. So I like to know where they live and what they do and what drew them to this company. That helps me understand where they're coming from really well. I also like to get a feel for their goals. Like, are they really they want to just kill this because they want to leave their job, or they just want some free clothes, you know? That is really helpful, and it allows me to know how much to coach and guide them. But also on the call, I talk about their launch party. So I kind of explain how launch parties work, what it is, what the purpose of it is, and I walk them through some scenarios of launch parties. I tell them that I'm there to help them with their launch party. I tell them about the resources that we have for it, and then I let them ask questions. So sometimes the calls can go really, really fast if somebody just doesn't have a lot of questions. Those are usually the people that need to process on their own, or maybe they're just really not in it for a big business. People that ask a ton of questions are usually ready to get started, I've found. So we have the call, we talk about the launch party, we go over their questions, and I get to know them. And then, I kind of leave it as, let me know when you want to start your launch party, and I'm here to help you with that. And then the next thing is I tell them, before I get off the phone, I tell them about our team files. So we have a great system for organizing our team files. I tell them where to find that. And then when after the call, I try to get them into a new rep training, as soon as possible. So either one that's coming up or one that has just happened. So at this point, this is within the first week. I've welcomed them. I've introduced them to the team page with all the resources there. I've had a call with them. I get to know them. They get to know me. We talk about their launch party. We go over their questions. And then I get them into a new rep training in some way. So that's it. That's how I do it. I certainly follow up with them. If I haven't heard from them, I'll check back in. But really, this is when it's up to them. If they want my help, they'll reach out. I'm available. I'm obviously all over the team page, social media. I mean, people, if they want my help, they can get it. But I do not hunt them down. I might check in on them, like I said, in a week. If they are a working rep, like if they're working the business, I likely hear from them pretty soon after. And then we start that back and forth of questions and answers and kind of getting them going that way. I let them guide me. So if somebody signs up and they have a million questions, I answer their million questions. I am happy to do that. If someone signs up and they have one question, I answer their one question. I am here to guide them, right? But they have to show me what they want. The other thing is, I think it's really important to create leaders as quickly as possible. So that is why I keep it kind of brief also. I show them the tools. I'm available for them. But I want them to be independent from me as quickly as possible, because that's when they can really take ownership of their business, right? If I'm doing everything for them, then they're not taking ownership of it. So my goal is to get them independent from me as quickly as possible. But I think the main point in this training is to just give them the tools, get to know them, and then know that that's really all you can do. There are other ways that I support my team and encourage them and incentivize them as we go. But as far as new rep onboarding, this is really all I do. I hope that was helpful. Please let me know if you have questions, and I'll talk to you soon.